Good morning and welcome to another episode of Crypto Corner, where we are on 8/8/2023, and we're going to see where we're at for over the last week. We've had a lot of different things, so we'll take uh, a look at where we are. You can see that almost everything is in our buy zone. We did have STX fall out. We had stop loss coming out of that. Stop loss, for those that don't know, it is when you set a price for something and it hits it, that's going down. So in this particular case, we had a stop loss in at I think 63 cents from 68 cents or something like that. And once it hit that, whether we were sleeping or doing whatever, we were it would just automatically sell. So it did. So we got out of that. Now we're waiting. It fell way further. So did the stop loss work? Yes, it was at 0.63, I think, and it went all the way to 58 cents. Um, so when we talk about like why we do things like that, we do them to keep our philosophy, right? Which is safe, secure, and able to sleep. So we were sleeping, we got stopped out. We didn't lose a lot more money than we would have, and we're going to lose some, we're going to win some. And as always, this isn't financial advice; it's the Wild West. And so we always welcome you to the Wild West, and we hope that as you're going along through this, that you're getting little bits of information and say, I'm just a little bit smarter. Stop loss is definitely smart. If you have stop losses in each time, now there's some things that we don't put stop losses on because we feel we're monitoring it and we're holding it for a long term. So things like dot, when we go through and we look at what's happening with some of these, you'll see that they've gone down considerably. So, here we are in the dot chart, and you can see that we were way up, 980, and now we're all the way down to, you know, no, I'm sorry, we were at 580, and now we're down to under five. So if we had had a stop loss at 530, if we'd had but it also depends on where you buy. So like right now, we're buying at 490-ish. If we put a stop loss at 499 or 505, we would stop out while we still made money. But we might not get 520. We might not get 560. So stop losses are used so that as you're going down, that we think that the market goes up, it goes down, goes up, and goes down. As it goes up, and we started out at 490 and we went to 520, then if we had bought at 490, put our stop loss in it at 488, so that if it dropped a little bit, we're safe. Well, as it went up to five, we moved it to 498. As it went to 512, we moved it to 510. As it went to 525, we moved it to 520. All of those times, then whenever you get stopped out, you're actually in the money. The good news with that is that then you can go back and start buying, right? If that drops, like in this case it did, if it drops back below five, you got stopped out, you have profit, and you're buying back more tokens than where you started. Again, that's part of our philosophy. Um, so now let's look at the Atom chart. Exactly the same thing. We're saying not to buy under 870. And this is why we have buy range. Just so you guys know, if you look it up, it says $8 to $10. We could buy anywhere in there for our long term, and we would feel okay. The biggest thing that we're doing with Atom is we're staking it at 20%. So if you put $1,000 in there, you're going to have 1,200 at the end of the year. Plus, you're going to have whatever it bought at. So let's say you were buying Atom at 890, and then it went down to 850. You're buying every time, every 7 days. You're staking it, so it's buying at 850, at 870, maybe at 910, maybe at 960. But all of those are free buys. And on top of that, you're getting that 20%. So that's where those numbers come in. And some of that 20% could be up if you like where we are right now. We're accumulating at 840. This is a great buy range for us. So at 840, we think at some point this thing is going to $17. So that's 100% gain. Again, not financial advice. It's the Wild West. But we think that as it plays out and as Bitcoin rises, it will rise with it. So, and when it does, then we're just going to get that benefit. And anything that we staked and we bought low, then we'll be able to sell that at high as well. So let's say you had 20% of what you bought at $9, nice even number, at $9. And then it goes to $16. Whatever you bought at nine at 20%. So say that 200 out of 1,000, that would that would be 200 that you also got 50% or 100% of. So that'd be another $200. So that's why we're doing it. Again, that's just secure. You're getting the 20%. Why not? That seems really smart to us. And again, there's plenty of people out there telling you, oh, you could get 100x, you could get, blah, blah. I don't see a lot of those people making money. And when you look at what we've said was going to happen, remember a couple of weeks ago, we were saying this wasn't a buy because it was too high. Now we're saying it's a buy because it's low. So just keep all those things in mind. We are trying to do our best to have you feel like, look, I don't have to look at it every day. I don't have to be crazy about it. It's going to go down. Maybe I should have some stop losses in. And in this case, you can't have a stop loss in. We bought some of these tokens at 920, I think is our highest. And guess what? It went all the way down to 840. We don't care. We didn't get stopped out. Why? Because we're getting 20% on those tokens. And we think in the long run, it's going to $16. We just don't want to deal with it. Okay. Um, Matic, again, 2 weeks ago, what were we saying? Look at how high up we've gone. We said we're not buying anymore. Now we're saying it's right back in our buy zone between 50 and 75 cents. And at 67 cents, we think there's a little bit more room to go down here. Again, you look at your support at 66 cents, you look at your resistance at 70 plus cents. So it's in a very tight range until it breaks out of one of those two ranges, then you're going to be a little bit stuck. So Matic right now I mean, it's in the buy zone, so don't misunderstand that, but it's not in our buy zone. We're looking, if I have my two things that I can choose, I could choose Atom at 20%, I could choose Matic where I'm getting no staking and it's in this tight zone. I would buy Atom all day long. Solana, again, remember that this went up $11 from the day that we started talking about it. It's gone up $11 and now it's retraced all the way back down over half of that. So, we were saying that 1650 to 19 is our buy range, and we're still at 23-ish. So, now I do want to say that if you watch this, if Bitcoin goes up, Solana will follow it. If Bitcoin goes to 42,000, then guess what? This is going right there with it. And it will be a nice run. And we'll have missed that run. Again, I don't care. I care about I think that this has that downside potential that we just saw in all these other ones and this coming down. Again, if we had kept buying this because it was going up, we would have bought all the way to I don't know, 29, and right now we would be 25% down. So we're trying to avoid that. Okay, so kind of let's go over, we kind of touched a little bit on it, but let's go over the week in review. Dot came down to our buy zone. We bought more. We have 11% that we're getting on Coinbase. Atom came down to our buy zone. We bought more. We got 20%. We will leave 25% on staked. And if it gets to, if say Atom has a really nice run here, what we want to do is we'll keep moving that stop loss up, just like we had talked about. We bought at 845. We will move our stop loss. It's probably around 850 or something now. We'll move as that goes up to 860, 870. We'll move our stop loss to 850. Now we're in the money. No matter what happens, if it falls off the earth, we will be okay. And then as it keeps moving up, we'll keep moving our stop loss, usually about 5%. Each time it moves that 5%, we'll move that up. Um, and all the all the while, again, we're adding to our position for our long term. Matic came way down. We're holding to get the best entry below 66 to 68. No staking. Again, what did I just say? We waited because we were getting it with Atom and Dot. So why not make the extra money? Um, Solana stayed above the price we wanted. Bitcoin moved back above our buy range, so it's no longer a buy for us. We want to see Bitcoin go up above 32,000. That's going to rise all of these coins, and then we'll decide, like what I hope will happen is Bitcoin goes to 32,000. Dot goes to 550, Atom goes to 980 or $10, and then we have those stop losses in, and then we want Bitcoin to drop all the way back down, and then all we have is all that cash sitting there, and then Dot gets it back around $5, Atom gets back around 850. We buy right back in. We get more coins each time, and we get that more staking on anything that we stake, obviously. Um, right now, we're not staking on DOT because we're feeling like that zone goes up so fast that we'll be between 5 and 550 pretty quick, and we'll sell at that point. We think this is a sideways, right? We're talking about a year from now that we're really going to be in these higher zones. So as we watch it, then we'll just keep watching the zones. Where should we buy? Where should we sell? And sometimes those numbers will change. So um, okay, but now let's go into what are we worried about? Um, if it goes to 24 right now, we could see dot in some of those go lower, and could we get stopped out of some of those if they're not, obviously if they're not staked? Yes, like we did with STX, we got stopped out. Getting stopped out is not a bad thing. The number one thing you need to learn in this industry, in my opinion, is make your losses as small as possible. Your gains are going to be your gains. Hallelujah. That's awesome. But your losses, the quicker you can get to shutting down that loss, I know people that have held on to some of their coins and they got all the way up and they like tripled and they went all the way back down and they held them the whole way. You should never do that. You should do like what we're doing with our stop loss with Adam. It goes up, you move your stop loss. Now you know you're in the money. That's managing that loss. Otherwise, it could go all the way back down, which we think will happen, by the way, before this whole thing ends. Um, and if all of those things are happening, then you should be going, this is like, it's a pattern. I'm just following the pattern and I'm being smart each time. And I'm repeating my process. Stop loss in. I put my buy in, get it where I want it. It starts moving up. I put my stop loss in. I'm already in the money. It goes further up. I'm in the money. It hits my stop loss. I was still in the money. I'm managing that side of it. Um, so if it goes to 24,000, Bitcoin goes to 24,000. All these things are going down. Don't kid yourself. They follow Bitcoin. If we have our stop losses, we'll buy back later. Some of that's good. Like I said, hopefully we're in the money at that point. Um, and we'll let you know when we take profits. We've done this on Atom and Dot and Matic so far. We let you know, look, we're taking profits here and then we're rebuying here. And we're going to do that for a little while until finally, this is what we think will happen. And I'll just use Dot as my example. Dot hangs around $5 to 550. Pretty soon, probably in the next 3 months, it's going to hang around $6 to 550. And then a little while later, it's going to go to 750 to $7. And then 9.5 to $9. Each of those times we'll adjust up with it. And some of those will still be holding our original number at 5. And some of them will be buying and selling with a stop loss. So that's why we put 75% into the staked, 25 into playing around with that money. Um, and so, if you haven't done any of that yet, don't, but start doing one on paper. And I think that you'll, make a trade on paper and see where you're at. And then again, you'll decide, should I be doing more of that? Do I want that anxiety? Or do I want to just take it and say, I'm going to have a year from now, I think I'm going to be in a really good place where I might be 50, 100% up on my money. That's a pretty good day. And again, it's not 100 times your money. It's not 10 times your money. It's not, we're not looking for that. There's a lot of other channels that will tell you how to get there, but I think a lot of those channels you'll end up losing your money on because you don't know when to sell, when to buy, when to do. We're holding and we're just looking to kind of double our money. Um, the last thing is I do believe that regional banks are going to have a run against those banks, and I think that there's going to be some fallout for local, like people trying to get loans, whether it's housing loans, whether it's business loans. Regional banks do a lot of business loans. And when those businesses can't be doing it, they cannot spend money on capital and some of those other things. As soon as that capital money starts coming down, that's when everyone gets, the whole economy gets really tight. And so that's a concern on my end. Um, today's thing was pretty, hopefully pretty quick, and hopefully you're learning stuff as you go. You know what we're trying to do. We're trying to be safe, we're trying to be secure, we're trying to let you sleep. um, Love the comments that we've been getting. We're trying to keep with our core, and then we'll expand a little bit each week of on one area, and then we'll go from there. But we appreciate it if you'd smash the like button and leave comments for us of what you'd like to see, what we're doing good, what we're doing bad, and we will see you on the next episode.